Hey, what's up, guys? Sorry I've been gone for so long. Haven't posted in a week, and I apologize for that. I've got some stuff going on in my life that I'm just figuring it out, and it takes a little time. But I've not abandoned this channel, and I probably never will. Probably. But I'm back, and I want to talk about forehands. A really basic thing that a lot of people struggle with because there are so many weird concepts floating out there. What should I do? Do I do like the wrist lag, the ATP, whatever? There's ATP forehand, next gen forehand. There's like 1,000 names for everything, right? But in coaching circles, that's not really what we use. Like I don't get a student and I'm like, you got to have the ATP forehand. Okay, but there are building blocks. You build upon them. And one of my favorite players to watch, or he's retired now, is David Ferrer, just because his consistency and his ability to replicate that stroke every time in every situation, whether he's off balance, on the run, standing still, needing to accelerate, it's crazy how well he replicates the stroke that he wants to replicate. And we're gonna go look at what makes it so simple. Let's get started, shall we? So again, this is not my video. I will credit the person that posted this video down in the comments below because I currently do not remember their name. Okay, so first let's look at what's going on. Nice background music, by the way. Okay, first thing, straight from ready position, and then to here. There's no this as the ball is coming, and then that. I made a video about this preparation before. And yes, this is the V8, the Blade V8 US Open version. I will try it out, and I will get back to you guys. The video will come sometime in the future when I finally string it. Anyway, from here into the set motion, okay? Okay, so a lot of things I'm about to say can be applied to so many forehands, but his is just so simple in terms of racket work. A lot of this ATP, like twisting, having a racket here, having whatever, none of that, like, yes, I guess it does matter a little bit, but those are not really the building blocks, okay? And Ferrer is a very good example of this. He hit against some of the biggest hitters of his era and he did just fine. And he was still able to put away balls and generate pace when he needed to, even with this very simple swing. So he just goes here. Okay. And you'll see that the way he hits is very compact, and it allows him to consistently time the ball because there's not too much going on in the back. So he gets into the set position right here, and from there on it's just down and forward, initiated by the rest of his body, which you guys have probably heard a billion times. Okay, and he goes through just like that. Okay, so I want you guys to look at another thing which is really important. Left hand is right here. It's across, okay? And I'm sure you guys have heard this, but let me talk about it a little bit more. Left hand across, but you don't have to straighten it or be stiff with it, okay? The tension is more in your core, more in your hips here, okay? It's not this, because then you can overturn. You can overturn and then things become complicated because you're now facing a direction that's not really natural. You see, your shoulders aren't overturned and this arm is actually still slightly bent. Speaking of bent arms, you will notice through his entire swing, his arm is still bent. Okay, this doesn't mean he doesn't get extension, alright? I know Federer hits with a straight arm. Del Potro, I think, hits with a straight arm. Nadal hits with a straight arm. But that doesn't mean everybody has to hit with a straight arm, especially if you are not Federer, if you are not Nadal, if you are not that caliber player with that type of training. Just because they do it doesn't mean you have to. I get a lot of it is racket extension, but the most important thing there is the racket path, okay? So you're here, my arm can stay bent, my racket can still go forward and finish. Just because I don't straighten doesn't mean my racket's not going through the ball. However, a lot of people will mistaken this for pulling off like this. Okay, that is not the correct form. So that's not even in this conversation, right? So you want here, and then you still go through the ball, and the arm can stay bent. Now, why do I recommend this for players that have not gone to a really high level developing a straight arm forehand? Because first of all, it's way easier to time, it's way more compact, there's a lot less moving parts, because with this, if you time this wrong, you have to have great movement, great core stability, and just a lot of very high level things physically too in order to control that kind of shot. So with this, you're able to time balls that might come a little bit heavier or a little bit outside your strike zone and be more comfortable. Because look, if you're hitting the ball here, right, and you're pushing someone, it's a lot easier to handle than if your arm was straight and far away and then you're trying to push someone this way. Yes, I understand that there's more velocity the further it is once you get the whip started. But that's the key word, when you get it started. A lot of people, you guys don't move well enough, you guys don't have the proper muscle preparation and everything, like Roger Federer or Nadal, to get it started efficiently, to get all the way out there and finish. Okay, so that's something I want you guys to think about. When I say you guys, don't take it personally, please. That's just what it is. And maybe you do. Maybe you're good enough. Then you're a part of the 1% that I'm not talking to. But you can still think about how this affects your stroke, right? I'm not saying this is the only way to do it. I'm just recommending, if you're more casual or if you're just starting to learn tennis, not to always dive too deep into like, oh, just because Federer does this, that means I should. Okay, let's keep going. Goes through the shot there. Let's watch a couple more. Yeah, see, that's just the most simple take back. I love it. Like, there's not too much turning of the racket. He just has his natural grip and he just goes here, palm forward, through the ball. He's gonna go backwards on this, but that's okay. The most important part is your racket hits the middle of or your strings hit the ball, right? But yeah, see, even moving backwards, balls coming inside, it's very easy to time this. A lot easier than to have a straight arm, because you just have more tension and more power built up, a little bit more stability. And I will admit that just due to physics, once you get that straight arm stuff going, if you contact it right, like, yeah, it goes really fast. But tennis is a game of percentages, right? Especially at a level where if you're not like 13 UTR or like, I guess 12 UTR or higher, it is still a game of consistency. I mean, even at the pro level, it's a game of consistency, but that's very, the view there, the perspective is a little skewed because of how heavy the shots are and like a lot more advanced tactics and shot qualities that maybe aren't so obvious to people that are just watching or that don't have experience at that level. So yeah, like 11 UTR under, it's a lot of it's still about producing the stroke when you need to. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys, I gave you guys a lot to think about as always. So exciting news. I got the Clash, the US Open version of the Clash, and the US Open version of the Blade V8. I think this is the V8. I'm not sure. I think it is. So I'm going to try this out. string it up. I'm so excited to do this. It doesn't even say what version, because all the specs are literally exactly the same, so, as the V7, at least. So I'm not positive, but hopefully, even if it's not, I don't really care. I definitely got it for the looks. But have a good day. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Support me, please, and give me the motivation to keep going. I mean, I will anyway, cause I love what I do. I love analyzing tennis, and I'm gonna post some more on-court stuff soon. So don't you guys worry. Keep commenting down below what you guys want to hear from me, and I will try to get it as best as I can. So thank you so much. As always, have a good day. Peace out.